Welcome to Flare English. Let's master real-world English together.
Hello, beautiful learners. Welcome back to Flare English. Take a deep breath with me. Inhale slowly and exhale. Just relax. You are in a safe place. I am Lucy, and I am so happy you are sharing your time with me today.
And hello from me too. I'm Diego. We are so happy you are here. Learning English is a journey, and we are walking on this road together with you, step by step.
Exactly, Diego. And before we start talking about today's topic, I want to invite you to join our family. If you want to learn English in a calm, friendly, and real way, please subscribe to our channel, Flare English, and do not forget to click the little bell icon. When you press the bell, you will get a message every time we post a new podcast. We want you here with us, so take 1 second right now, subscribe, and hit that bell. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart.
Yes, please do. We love reading your comments and seeing our Flare English family grow. Now, Lucy, today we have a very special topic. It's a topic that brings a lot of tears and frustration to English learners.
Yes, it really does. Today, we are talking about 2 very small words, just 2 letters and 4 letters, but these 2 words cause so much pain for students. We are talking about the verbs do and make.
Oh, wow. Do and make. When I was learning English, I hated these words. In my native language, we only have one word for both of them. So when I started speaking English, I used them wrong every single day. I would say, I am doing a cake, or I need to make my homework, and people would look at me like I was crazy.
I know, Diego. And to all our listeners out there, if you have ever felt stupid because you confused do and make, please listen to me right now. You are not stupid. English is just a little bit crazy sometimes. It's completely normal to feel confused. Today, we are going to make it simple. We will go very slowly. We will look at real examples, and we promise by the end of this podcast, you will feel so much better.
That is a promise. So let's start with the basic idea, the golden rule. If you forget everything else today, just remember this one basic difference.
Yes, the golden rule is about what happens. We use do for actions, activities, and tasks. When you do something, you're not creating anything new. You're just performing an action. The thing already exists, or it's a general activity.
And we use make when we create, build, or produce something. When you make something, the result is something new. Before you took the action, the thing was not there. After you take the action, the thing is there. You can touch it, see it, or feel it.
Let's repeat that slowly. Do is for actions and tasks. You do not create anything new. Make is for creating. You bring something new into the world.
Let's look at a simple example. Let's talk about food. Lucy, what happens when you're in the kitchen?
Well, in the kitchen, I make a cake. I make dinner. I make a cup of coffee. Why do we use make? Because before I started, there was no cake. There were only eggs, flour, and sugar. I mixed them together, I baked them, and I created something new. So I made a cake.
Exactly. But what happens after you eat the cake? The kitchen is dirty. There are plates and spoons everywhere. So what do you do next?
Next, I do the dishes, or I do the cleaning. I'm not creating new dishes. The plates are already there. I'm just performing the action of washing them. It's a task, a chore. So I do the dishes.
See? You make the dinner, but you do the dishes. You create the food, but you just clean the plates. This is the heart of the do versus make rule.
Now, let's go a little deeper into the word do. We want to give you some specific categories. When you organize words into categories, it's much easier for your brain to remember them. Let's look at the first category for do.
The first big category for do is work, chores, and tasks. Whenever you're talking about your daily responsibilities, the things you must complete at home or at your job, you usually use do.
For example, you do your homework. You do the housework. You do the ironing. You do your job.
Let's think about the emotion here. Chores are often things we don't really want to do, right? They're boring routines. You don't create a beautiful piece of art when you clean the floor. You just complete a task. That's why it's do.
I love that explanation, Diego. It feels so real. Let's give our listeners a little story to help them remember. Imagine a tired mother. It's 8 p.m. She says, "I'm so tired. Today I did the laundry, I did the shopping, and I did all the paperwork for my office. I just want to rest."
She completed all those tasks. She did them.
Poor mother. I hope she gets to relax now. The second category for do is when we talk about general ideas. What does this mean, Diego?
This means we use do when we don't say exactly what the action is. We use words like something, nothing, anything, or everything. For example, if I'm bored, I might say, "Diego, let's do something fun today." I'm not saying what we'll do, just a general action.
Or if I'm very lazy on a Sunday, I will say, "I'm so tired. Today I will do nothing. I'm just going to sit on the sofa."
I love Sundays where I can do nothing. It feels so good for the soul. Other examples are you going to do anything for your birthday? Or she does everything for her children.
So if you hear words like something, nothing, anything, always use do. Never say make something, unless you're talking about building a physical object. If it's a general activity, it's always do something.
Perfect. Now, the third category for do is about taking care of your body. We use do for personal care.
For example, you do your hair. You do your nails. You do your makeup.
Wait, Lucy, this used to confuse me so much. Why don't I say make my hair? I feel like I'm making it look beautiful.
That's a great question, and it shows why English can be frustrating. But think about it this way. You're not creating new hair out of nothing. The hair is already on your head. You're just performing an action to organize it. You're brushing it or styling it. It's a task, so you do your hair.
Ah, that makes perfect sense now. My hair is already here, I just take care of it. And what about exercise?
Yes, we do exercise. We do yoga, we do push-ups. Again, these are actions and activities for your body.
Okay, let's review the do categories before we move on. 1. Work, chores, and tasks. Do the laundry, do homework. 2. General ideas. Do something, do nothing. 3. Personal care and exercise. Do your hair, do yoga.
Excellent. How are you feeling, listeners? Take another breath. And exhale. I hope you are feeling comfortable. Remember, if you make a mistake, it's completely okay. Speaking of mistakes, let's move to our next big word, make.
Ah, make, the word of creation. As we said before, make is about producing something new. The first category for make is food, drink, and meals.
This is my favorite category because I love eating. You make breakfast, you make lunch, you make dinner, you make a salad, you make a cup of tea.
You're taking raw ingredients like water, tea leaves, vegetables, and bringing them together to create a beautiful meal or drink. You are the creator in the kitchen.
Exactly. Now, the second category for make is money and business. This is very important if you are learning English for your job.
Yes, in English, we say you make money. You make a profit. You make a fortune.
Some languages say win money or earn money for this concept. Earn is correct in English too, but in daily conversation, we usually say make money. Why? Because you are producing wealth. You are creating a living for yourself.
I remember when I got my first job, I was so proud. I called my mom and said, "Mom, I'm finally making my own money." It's a very emotional feeling, creating your own path in life.
That's beautiful, Diego. And that brings us perfectly to the third category for make, which is very emotional. It's about relationships and communication.
This is a huge one. When we communicate, we produce words, sounds, and feelings, so we use make. For example, you make a promise.
You make a friend.
You make an excuse.
You make a joke.
You make a phone call.
Take a soft, slow look at these. When you make a friend, that connection did not exist before. You met someone, you smiled, you talked, and you created a relationship. You made a friend.
When you make a promise, you are creating a special bond with your words. You are producing a commitment from your heart.
And sometimes in relationships, we do things wrong, which is another phrase with make. We make a mistake.
Yes, we make a mistake. We do not do a mistake. I want to pause here for a moment. Pause. I know many of you listening right now worry about making mistakes in English. You open your mouth to speak and your heart beats fast. You think, what if I use the wrong word? What if I say do instead of make? We see you. We feel your fear. It is a very scary feeling to speak a new language. You feel like a child again. You feel vulnerable.
But I want to tell you a secret about making mistakes. When you make a mistake, you are actually creating something wonderful. You are creating a learning opportunity. You are creating progress. Native speakers do not care if you say, I did a mistake, instead of I made a mistake. They just want to connect with you. They want to know your thoughts.
Exactly. Your voice matters more than your grammar. Please never stay silent because you are afraid. Make those mistakes. Make 100 mistakes. Make 1,000, because every mistake is a step forward.
Thank you, Diego. That is so true. So remember, we make a mistake. We produce an error, but it helps us grow. Let's look at one more category for make. It is plans and decisions. When you think about the future, you are creating ideas in your mind. So we use make.
You make a plan. You make a decision. You make a choice. You make an arrangement.
Before you decided, there were many options floating in the air, but when you finally pick one, you create a solid path. You make a decision.
Let's review the make categories. 1. Food and drinks. Make a cake. Make tea. 2. Money. Make money. Make a profit. 3. Relationships and communication. Make a friend. Make a phone call. Make a mistake. 4. Plans. Make a decision. Make a plan.
Okay, now that we have the rules, we have to talk about the exceptions.
Oh no, the exceptions. Why does English always have to break its own rules, Lucy?
I know. It is the most frustrating part of the English language. Just when you understand the rule, there's a word that completely ignores it. But do not worry, we are only going to talk about the most common ones today. If you learn these, you will sound so natural.
Okay, let's start with the most famous exception, the one that confuses everyone. Make the bed.
Yes, every morning you wake up, you pull the blankets up, and you arrange the pillows. According to our rules, this is a chore. It's a daily task. So it should be do the bed. But it's not. We say make the bed.
Why? I have a theory. When you wake up, the bed is a messy disaster. It looks terrible. But when you arrange the blankets and pillows, you're creating a neat, beautiful place to sleep. You are creating order out of chaos. So you are making the bed.
I love that theory. It paints a perfect picture in the mind. You create a beautiful bed. So remember, you do the housework, you do the laundry, you do the dishes, but you make the bed.
Here's another one. Do a favor. A favor is when you help someone. It's an action to help a friend. For example, Lucy, can you do me a favor and hold my coffee? Why is it do? Well, you're performing an action for someone else. It's a kind task, so you do a favor.
Yes, sometimes students say, make me a favor, because in Spanish or Italian, they use the verb for make. But in English, please remember, do me a favor.
What about do your best?
That is a beautiful phrase. To do your best means to try as hard as you can, to give 100% of your energy. I know the English test is hard, but just do your best. It's an action. You perform the action of trying hard, so we use do.
Let's contrast that with another exception, make sure. Make sure means to check something so you're 100% certain. For example, before you leave the house, make sure you have your keys. You are creating certainty. You are producing a feeling of safety in your mind. So you make sure.
That's a great way to explain it. Another tricky pair is about noise. We make a noise, but we do the talking.
Wait, really? Let's break that down.
Yes, when you clap your hands or drop a heavy book, you create a sound that wasn't there before, so you make a noise. But if you're in a meeting and your boss is speaking for 1 hour, the action of speaking is a continuous activity, so we might say, the boss did all the talking.
English is crazy, but it's also a little bit poetic when you think about it.
It really is. Let's take another pause here. We have given you a lot of information. How is your brain feeling? It's totally fine if you feel a little overwhelmed. Learning a language is like building a muscle. When you go to the gym, your muscles hurt a little because they're growing. When your brain feels tired from listening to English, it means your English muscle is growing. You are doing a great job.
You really are. To help these words stick in your brain, let's do a little role play. Let's create a story. Lucy and I will act out a normal morning. Listen carefully and try to catch all the times we use do and make.
Okay, let's do it. Good morning, Diego. Did you sleep well?
Yawning. Good morning, Lucy. Yes, I slept great, but I'm so lazy today. I really want to do nothing all day.
I know the feeling, but we can't do nothing. We have to go to work. Come on, get up. Can you do me a favor?
Sure, what is it?
Can you make the bed while I go to the kitchen to make some coffee?
Okay, I will make the bed, but only if you make eggs for breakfast too.
Deal. I'll make breakfast, but remember, if I make the food, you have to do the dishes later.
Sigh, I'll do the dishes. Oh, wait, I need to make a quick phone call to my boss. I need to make an excuse because I'm going to be a few minutes late.
Oh no, don't make a bad impression. Just tell him you're trying to do your best to get there fast.
I will. Let me just do my hair really fast and then I'll call him.
Okay, make sure you don't take too long. The coffee is almost ready.
Normal, cheerful voice. And scene. How was that? Did you catch all of them?
Let's go through them slowly together. First, Diego said he wanted to do nothing. General idea, so we use do.
Then I asked him to do a favor. Exception. Action of helping someone.
Then Diego asked me to make the bed. The messy bed becomes beautiful, so we create order. We use make.
Diego went to the kitchen to make coffee and make breakfast. Food and drink, so we make.
Lucy told Diego he had to do the dishes. Cleaning is a chore, a task, so do.
Then Diego had to make a phone call and make an excuse. Communication. Producing words, so we make.
Lucy told me not to make a bad impression, but to do my best. Do your best is the action of trying hard.
I needed to do my hair. Personal care. Arranging what is already there, so we do.
And finally, Lucy told me to make sure I wasn't slow, creating certainty.
Wow, when you put it all into a story, it makes so much more sense, doesn't it? It feels natural.
It really does. Stories are the best way to learn vocabulary. Don't just memorize lists of words. Imagine the situation in your head. Imagine yourself in the kitchen. What are your hands doing? Are they creating something new or are they just cleaning something old? This visual trick helps so much.
I absolutely agree. Let's talk a little bit more about the emotional side of these words, because make and do are used in so many important life moments. Think about when someone is very sad. What do? We try to make them smile. Yes, we don't do them smile. We produce a smile on their face. We create happiness. To make someone happy is one of the most beautiful things you can do in life.
And sometimes life is very hard. We have to make difficult decisions. Maybe you moved to a new country. You had to make the choice to leave your home, your family, your comfort zone. You did this to make a better life for yourself.
If you are listening to us right now from a different country, or if you are studying English late at night after a long day of work, we want to tell you that we admire you. You are doing an amazing job.
Yes, you are. Every time you listen to a podcast, every time you learn a new word, you are doing the work. It takes time. Sometimes you might feel like you are not making any progress. You might think, I am studying so hard, but I'm not making any money from it yet, or I'm not making any native friends yet.
But please do not give up. The progress is happening inside your brain, even if you can't see it right now. You are building the foundation. You just have to keep doing your best, and one day you will look back and you will see that you have made a huge transformation.
That is the truth. Language learning is not a sprint, it's a marathon. Now, Diego, I think our listeners are ready for a little challenge. What do you think?
I think they are ready. It is time for a mini quiz. Don't worry, listeners, there are no grades here. You don't get a bad mark if you get it wrong. Just test your feeling.
Here's how it will work. I will say a sentence, but I'll leave a blank space. I will say beep instead of the word. You have to shout out loud, or whisper if you're on the bus, whether the missing word is a form of do or make. Are you ready? Let's go.
Question number 1. I am very hungry. I'm going to beep a sandwich. Pause for 3 seconds. What is it?
The answer is make. I'm going to make a sandwich because it's food. You're putting bread, cheese, and tomatoes together to create a meal.
Great job. Question number 2. My bedroom is very messy. I need to beep some cleaning. Pause for 3 seconds. What do you think?
The answer is do. I need to do some cleaning. Cleaning is a chore. It's a task. You aren't creating anything. You're just removing dirt. So you do the cleaning.
Question number 3. Careful, this is an exception. Can you please beep me a favor and open the door? Pause for 3 seconds.
The answer is do. Can you please do me a favor? Helping someone is an action.
Question number 4. She wants to beep a lot of money so she can buy a house. Pause for 3 seconds.
The answer is make. She wants to make a lot of money. You are producing wealth.
Question number 5. I don't know what to wear tonight. I need to beep a decision. Pause for 3 seconds.
The answer is make. I need to make a decision. You are creating a plan in your mind.
And the last question, number 6. I feel terrible. I think I beep a mistake on the exam. Pause for 3 seconds.
The answer is made, the past tense of make. I made a mistake. You created an error.
How did you do? Did you get all of them right? If you did, congratulations. You are a superstar.
And if you missed some, congratulations to you too. Why? Because you tried. You did your best. And as we said before, when you make a mistake, you learn. So either way, you win.
That is the best attitude to have. You know, Lucy, when I was first learning English, I kept a little notebook in my pocket. Every time I heard a native speaker use do or make, I wrote the whole sentence down. Not just the word, but the whole sentence.
That's a brilliant strategy. Why the whole sentence?
Because context is everything. If I just write make, decision, it feels robotic. But if I write, I have to make a difficult decision tomorrow, my brain remembers the feeling, the emotion, and the rhythm of the sentence. The English language has a music to it.
It really does. The words naturally flow together. We call these word partnerships collocations, words that like to hold hands and walk together. Make and mistake are best friends. They always hold hands. Do and homework are best friends. If you try to force make to hold hands with homework, they will fight. It sounds wrong to the native ear.
I love that image. Words holding hands. That's exactly what it is. So, listeners, your homework for this week, which you will do, not make, is to pay attention. When you watch a movie in English or listen to a song, listen for do and make. See who they are holding hands with.
Yes, write down 3 sentences you hear this week. And if you want, you can put them in the comments below this video or podcast. We will read them. We love seeing the work you are doing.
Let's do a final slow review of everything we talked about today so our listeners can take this knowledge with them into their day.
Let's start with do. Rule number 1.
Do is for actions, tasks, and routines. You do not create a new physical object. You do the laundry, you do the dishes, you do your job, you do your homework.
Rule number 2. Do is for general activities when you don't say exactly what it is. You do something. You do nothing. You do everything.
Rule number 3. Do is for taking care of your body. You do your hair, you do your nails, you do exercise.
Now for make. Rule number 4. Make is for creating, producing, or building something new, something that did not exist before you started. For food, you make dinner, you make a cake, you make coffee.
Rule number 5. Make is for producing money and business results. You make money, you make a profit.
Rule number 6. Make is for communication and relationships. You make a friend. You make a phone call. You make a promise. You make a joke. And of course, you make a mistake.
And finally, remember the special exceptions. Even though it's a chore, you make the bed. Even though it's an action for someone else, you do a favor. And when you try hard, you do your best.
If you can remember these rules and a few examples, you will be correct 95% of the time. And the other 5%, don't worry about it. Just speak.
My dear friends, we are coming to the end of our time together today. I want you to close your eyes for a second if you're in a safe place to do so. Take one more deep breath in. Inhale and let it out. Be proud of yourself. You just spent a long time listening to native-level concepts in a foreign language. Your brain worked hard. You are improving. Sometimes the journey of learning English feels like climbing a huge mountain. You look up and the top is so far away. The clouds are covering the peak. You feel tired. Your legs hurt. You think, I will never reach the top. I will never speak perfectly.
But let me tell you something about climbing mountains. You shouldn't look at the top all the time. Look down at your feet. Look at the step you just took. You are higher than you were yesterday. You know more today than you did yesterday. You understand do and make better now than you did 30 minutes ago. That's progress.
Exactly. Don't worry about being perfect. Perfection does not exist. Even native speakers make grammar mistakes when they're tired or speaking fast. We just want you to be confident. We want you to use English to make friends, to travel the world, to find love, to get that amazing job you've been dreaming about. English is a key that opens doors. We're just helping you turn the key.
We believe in you. We really do. And we are always here for you at Flare English.
Yes, we are. If this podcast helped you today, please share it with a friend who is also learning English. Send them a message and say, hey, I thought of you. This helped me. Maybe it will help you. Let's build a community of learners who support each other, who lift each other up.
And if you haven't yet, please don't forget to subscribe to Flare English and hit that bell icon. It's a small click for you, but it means the world to us. It helps us continue to make these podcasts for free to help people all over the world.
Thank you for welcoming us into your cars, your homes, your morning walks, or your gym routines today. Remember to be kind to yourself. Drink some water, take a rest, and keep doing your best.
Until next time, keep practicing, keep making mistakes, and keep smiling. Goodbye, everyone.
Goodbye, beautiful people. See you in the next episode of Flare English. Take care.